let's continue talking about the border. Joining us right now, Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb. Sheriff, how are you today?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, let's talk border. We heard you say a large chunk of people coming across are, and your quote is, military-aged men. What do you mean by that? Why not just call them adult males?
Well, because I think adult males could allude to the fact that they could be 60 years old, 70 years old. What we're seeing are men within probably 20 to 30 years old predominantly. Maybe a little bit older than that, but most of them look very young, very fresh. They come with who knows what kind of background. You know, I talked to the Border Patrol, unfortunately, with their limited capabilities, with just the amount of surge they're seeing, they're only able to vet 5% of these people coming from special interest countries.
Say that again.
Only 5% of the people coming from special interest countries are being vetted right now. And,
what's a special interest country for everybody out there who doesn't quite get it?
Could be Russia, China, Mauritania, which has become the leading breeding ground for Al Qaeda.
Yep.
It could be the Middle East countries, Afghanistan, any country where there is been terrorism, where we know there's terrorist cells, or they could present a threat to Americans, regular citizens, would be a special interest country.
That's crazy. Sheriff, I am a Pinal County resident. I always like to tell everybody I live out in the Valley of the Dirt People, right there. You know, I pass by the station all the time there. I will tell you this, the Tohono O'odham tribe, I talk all the time to my friends out there who are Border Patrol agents, much like you do. It is so tough for those guys to patrol out there. And the thoroughfare for trafficking, whether it's drugs or humans, it's terrifying.
It is, you know, and we get a lot of people that say, well, you're not on the border. And that's true. I'm one county off, but I'm 52 miles from the border on the south end of where the reservation is, which has always been a thoroughfare for the cartel trafficking people that they don't want to be found. These are men or women that work for the cartels directly, or maybe they are terrorists or who knows what. And then you got the I-10. That's where everybody else comes through. If you come through the southern portion of Arizona, the chances are at some point you come through Pinal County, or the drugs you're bringing in come through Pinal County to make its way to Phoenix, where there it's distributed throughout the rest of the country. So our guys are out working on the I-10 interstate every day trying to stop these loads. And it is honestly, this is a terrible verbiage, but it's like shooting fish in a barrel for traffic stops out there. You know, we're having pursuits every time we're working that freeway. It's crazy. They're even coming down the 60. They're going the back door, coming down the 60, and we're stopping 2-3 load vehicles a day on the 60.
Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb is joining us on the show, talking about the border, immigration. You know, this week especially, we've talked about a 2-month-old left at the border, and how, you know, sometimes it's the cartel. You know, they take the child away. They make the parents smuggle drugs in, and then maybe they give the child back, or maybe they just leave the child in the dirt. We've talked about, you know, little toddlers that are crawling through razor wire. What's the most messed up thing you've seen at the border?
You know, fortunately in Pinal County, we don't see a lot of the children come through there. You know, we caught a woman that came across, she had a baggie full of pills on her. We asked her what the pills were, and she said, well, when I was going to cross the border, I knew I'd be raped multiple times. These are morning after pills.
Oh.
You know, where did our moral compass break so much that we're tolerating this as Americans? The raping of women, the raping of children, the using of children as pawns. Just this year, we're up to 130,000 unaccompanied minors. We had 130,000 approximately last year. And the government has admitted they don't know where 85,000 of those children are. In a country where we lead the way in child sexual abuse material and trafficking of children is on the rise in this country, and we have to admit that we don't know where 85,000 children that came into this country are, that is appalling to me.
It is.
And what the average American should be, they should be disgusted by this.
If you could do one thing, they say, hey, you know what, Sheriff Lamb, you're the magic king for the day. You can do one thing to fix the border situation. What's that one thing you think would really turn the tide?
Let's go back to the Trump-era policies. They worked. There was only 400,000 apprehensions. You're never going to eliminate it all the way. I wish we could, but that'd be a tough task. We had 400,000 apprehensions under the last administration. Under this administration, it is almost like they're willfully turning a blind eye to this issue. They continue to not address it. Joe Biden's going to come into town. He's likely not to address it again. But this is part of the reason I'm running for the U.S. Senate. I realize there's only so much I can do as a sheriff. I've tried to fight the fight here on a local level, but I realize the only way we're going to fix this is by either impeaching these people, voting them out, and getting proven conservative fighters in Washington like myself. I'm a regular citizen. I'm a guy. I had a good job. I have a great family. The last thing on my bucket list was to run for a federal office. But we need proven conservative fighters. We need Americans who are going to fight for the values which we love, which are God, family, freedom. Arizona deserves it. America deserves it. So please, hopefully, if any listeners come support me at sherifflamforsenate.com. That's how we start to change this. But if I had a king for the day, the easiest thing is let's go back to that. Let's start there and let's try to fix this border issue and create some common sense immigration legislation.
All right, Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.